What's up, YouTube? Let's talk about something that's been getting on my nerves for years now. The news. It seems that most people don't particularly like watching the news, even if they do watch it. I guess that's probably because 95% of the time it seems like the news is either about something terrible happening, or it's just some irritated person complaining about something and handpicking facts to support their highly subjective argument. I think a lot of the issue stems from the 24-hour news cycle that started in 1980 on CNN. This 24-hour news cycle became progressively more prominent throughout the 1990s, airing things like the O.J. Simpson murder case, which televised a police chase with O.J. in his infamous white Ford Bronco, and afterwards gave what was practically a play-by-play of his trial. The 24-hour news cycle, in my opinion, detracts from the impartial objectivity that should be the goal of any good news outlet. It forces the news outlets to fill 24 hours every day with content, no matter how repetitive, inane, or subjective. This is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion, and leads to content like this.
And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white, but this person is just arguing that maybe we should also have a black Santa. But, Santa is what he is, and just so you know, we're just debating this because someone wrote about it, kids.
Other times, news outlets decide to fill their time with disorganized banter that leads nowhere, to the point where reporting the news devolves into arguing like grade schoolers who don't understand how to have a coherent discussion or debate. The news should be simply that. News. Noteworthy information, free of bias. There should be no speculation, no opinionation, nor should there be any sensationalism involved. We interrupt this video to bring to your attention the fact that less than half of my viewers are actually subscribed to this channel. It is a complete and utter tragedy, I know, but there is something you, yes you, can do to help make a difference. Simply click the subscribe button below this video, and for one easy payment of absolutely nothing, you will be helping this channel out immensely, and I will continue to make quality content for you guys. Back to the show. Sorry guys, don't you hate it when the news is interrupted by different news? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh right, noteworthy information without bias. A good news outlet should ideally state facts without telling the viewer how to feel about them. However, what we end up seeing is news outlets with time to kill and political agendas which skew and dilute the facts with biased presentations of information, making whatever is said all the less trustworthy. Often it seems that a news station will repeat several key talking points without taking the bigger picture into account in order to push their agendas. They do this with hopes that through repetition, their perspective will become the facts that their viewers believe.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the troubling trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Creepy, right? Just when you thought you could at least trust local news, you find out they're all owned by one national company. News outlets also seem to like to bring in supposed experts whose credentials can range from multiple doctoral degrees to owning a pillow company. It doesn't matter to the news outlet so long as their expert is willing to push their agenda, and when said expert subverts their expectations, we get funny and awkward moments like this.
What happened with your Twitter account and the company page?
Well, first mine was taken down because we have all the election fraud with these Dominion machines. We have 100% proof. And then when they took it down about 3 weeks ago, and then when I put it back up, my personal, it was a
Mike, thank you very much. Mike, you're talking about machines that we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those kinds of allegations. We just want to let people know that there's nothing substantive that we've seen. And we wanted to talk to you about canceling culture, if you will. We don't want to relitigate the allegations that you're making, Mike, because we understand where you are. So let me ask you this. Do you think that this should be temporary because it appears to be permanent? Could you make an argument that it is temporary?
What?
Could you make an argument that this could be a temporary banning rather than permanent?
No, I want it to be a permanent because you know what? They did this because I'm revealing all the evidence on Friday of all the election fraud with these machines. So I'm sorry if you think it's not
Mike,
it's real.
can I ask our producers, can we get out of here, please? I don't want to have to keep going over this.
Actually,
we at Newsmax
Mike,
have not been able to verify any of those allegations that you're
Mike, hold on a second. Everybody hold on a second. Mike, hold on 1 second. Let's talk a little bit about just what is happening overall.
My script just says insert witty comment here. I also feel bad for older people who tend to believe almost anything they see on the news because back in their day, the news was way more trustworthy and far less theatrical. News needs to be impartial, otherwise agendas will always distort the raw facts. News today is like this. This just in, we are getting reports that a string of volcanoes have erupted in the Pacific this afternoon. Alex, what's your take on this? Well, it's my opinion that these volcanoes are probably Jewish. Okay. It's a liberal plot by a conservative cabal to cancel Christmas. But I'd say it's all fake news anyway. The Earth is 4,000 years old and flat after all. Mic drop. And this is how a newscast should look ideally. This just in, we are getting reports that a string of volcanoes have erupted in the Pacific this afternoon. Alex, what's your take on this? Well, it's typical with an eruption that you'll get a bunch of lava flows and maybe some ash up in the sky. That's about it. News should be succinct and factual without commentary. The minute you start drawing lines between things for the viewer is the minute you begin introducing subjectivity into the mix. Maybe some degree of subjectivity is fine, but I guess the point is most news outlets way overdo it to the point that they're telling people how to think, and what they're showing their viewers is theatrical content rather than objective information. Anyway, I'm done talking now. Just please look into the facts yourself and draw your own conclusions. It doesn't matter what your political views are, just don't let someone else build your worldview for you. Also, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see something else from me, might I suggest one of these videos? Alright, have a great day. See you next time.